Hi, everyone. I'm Julia, and welcome to Best Life by You, the podcast dedicated to helping you overcome challenges around nutrition, fitness, mindset, relationships, and, well, all of the above. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to dive into something that could completely shift the way you live your life. It's a simple but powerful question. What could go right? Now, I don't know about you, but my brain has a tendency to run straight toward what could go wrong. It's pretty much automatic. We think of failure, rejection, embarrassment, things falling apart before they even begin. But what if, just for a moment, we trained ourselves to flip the script? Today, we're going to talk about why it's so important to reset your mindset, how to do it, and how asking what could go right can literally rewire your brain, your habits, and your future. Today, we're going to get into a few points. So point one, I'm just going to start out with, rip the Band-Aid right off. Why our brains default to the negative. Humans are wired with what's called the negativity bias. Our ancestors had to scan for danger to survive, and that's why your brain remembers the one negative comment more vividly than the 10 compliments you received. The problem? In today's world, most of the danger, quote unquote, we worry about isn't life-threatening. It's emotional or it's social. Things like, what if they don't like me? What if I mess up at work? What if I fail? What if nobody likes the picture I posted on Instagram? What if my crush doesn't see my story? All these things, the constant scanning for what could go wrong, keeps us small, stuck, and often exhausted. Think about it. How many times have you not tried something because your brain convinced you it would go wrong? Have you been afraid to ask for a promotion because, you've been doing it for so long and you're just like, well, I don't think it's right. I don't think I deserve it. That is all in your head. Right? You have to think about all the good things that can go right over and over and over again. Maybe it's a simple coffee order in the morning, right? You're so used to going to Dunkin' or wherever you go get your coffee, and they don't usually make it correctly. And you get frustrated every single time because you're like, it's usually not made correctly. Well, you're one, putting all that energy out there. But two, start to think of, what if they made my coffee right today? You're going to be happier regardless. And also, you're going to start training your brain to always look for the positive things. But I'll talk about that more later. So the next point I'm going to get into is the case for resetting your mindset. I like to phrase it as unlearning learned behaviors. So your mindset is like the filter on a camera. It colors everything you see. Two people can look at the same exact situation. One sees opportunity and the other sees disaster. The difference? Mindset. When you reset your mindset, you stop letting old fears and limiting beliefs dictate your choices. Mindset resets are like hitting refresh on your mental browser. Suddenly, things load more clearly, more accurately, and with less overwhelm. And why this matters: if you don't reset, you run on autopilot. And autopilot usually means fear, scarcity mindset, and worst case scenario thinking. So when you're looking at something like this, that's even the scarcity mindset. And I have to remind myself of this too, right? Like, if I don't work a certain amount of hours, am I really going to not afford food for the week? No. In my life, I've never had one instance, thank God for this, but I've never lived in a situation, nor has my family, where we've never had food on the table. Maybe it was McDonald's, like a $5 or $10 dinner, but there was always food. And the scarcity comes with fear, right? A lot of people fear money, they fear religion, they fear government, they have conversations, or they talk about things that, you shouldn't talk about X, Y, Z. And this is the fear mongering that's been happening in our society. And I see it around me with scarcity of like, what if I can't afford rent? What if I can't do this? But what if you can? What if you get that raise? What if you can afford that really, really nice apartment that you want? You want to start rewiring your brain. And that goes into my next point. Flipping the question, what could go right? So let's play this out with some examples. Say with your career, instead of what if I don't get the job, what if this role changes my life for the better? That already helps you reset your mind. So instead of thinking, I'm not going to get the job, or that part, even the parking spot, right? Parking spots. I always laugh about this too, because we're one of the places I work never have parking, but every single time I'm like, wow, thank you God for this beautiful parking spot in the front. And 9 times out of 10, I always find closed parking. Not like I can't walk, but you know what I mean. It's always like a gratitude, living in gratitude and saying, wow, so glad I got that parking spot. So glad I got that job. Speak it into existence. The next one is health. What if I fail this program again? What about saying, what if this is the one that finally sticks and helps me thrive? That's even with my coaching program. I never promise that somebody's going to lose X amount of weight or X amount of pounds. That's not what I promise. I do promise, though, to challenge you to reset your habits, to learn about fiber, protein, carbs, what you need for your body, how to function. And I teach you how to reset your mindset so that your body can change. And then the pluses are that you end up changing your entire physique. But that is not what I harp on in my coaching program. So it's really about even how I promote my coaching program. Well, this person, I can't wait to help this person. I can't wait for my coaching program to help hundreds and hundreds of people. And that is the mindset I'm going to have instead of saying, what if my coaching program only helps like 10 people? First of all, 10 people is great to still help, but you want to start rephrasing your mindset of, wow, what if this helps millions of people? That's going to be so great for me. That's going to be so great for my clients because that means more and more people are being transformed for the better. Even in relationships, right? I mean, they say it's better to love and get hurt than to not have loved at all. So, in relationships, a lot of people are like, well, what if I get hurt? That is a risk you always are going to take. You're either going to end up with a person or you're not going to end up with a person. That's it. That's the risk you take. But for me, I believe it's worth the risk. And you can also rephrase it. What if this relationship helps me grow, heal, and love deeply? Look at it from a learning perspective. I was in a couple serious relationships in my 20s, and I will, first of all, I never regret them. I never regret anything. But those relationships itself have taught me so much that I'm able to look back and say, I'm so grateful I had the opportunity. I'm so grateful I had these relationships with people who loved me and who saw me for me. And that was something, even though it didn't work out, I'm so grateful for it. And I look at it in a positive lens, not, oh, I wasted my time or I did any of that. Or so what if I got hurt? So what if it took me some time to heal? I have learned so much from those relationships and I would never regret it. And then another one you could look at is parenting or family. Instead of what if I'm not good enough, say, what if my love, presence, and effort are more than enough? And even in those scenarios, do you see how it feels lighter? Hopeful? It's not about pretending bad things don't exist. It's about allowing possibility back into the conversation. My next point are practical ways to reset your mindset daily. So pause and notice, catch your thoughts in the moment. Awareness is everything. If you hear yourself spiraling into worst case scenarios, just pause, don't judge, just notice. Notice that you are in this moment of judging yourself. Maybe you didn't like the outfit. Maybe you were upset because you ate a certain food and you really didn't want to eat it. It does not matter. It's okay, that happened. That's okay. I felt great. I did it, and now we move on. So flip the question here. Ask, okay, but what could go right here? What is the best case scenario? And sometimes you'll surprise yourself with how freeing the answer is. You want to anchor with gratitude. Gratitude rewires your brain. Studies show that daily gratitude practice trains your mind to look for the good instead of the bad. Write down 3 things every night that went right, no matter how small. Maybe it's that I always go to coffee because I love coffee, but maybe it's that your coffee tasted delicious. It had just the amount of creamer, just the amount of milk in it, and it helped make your day. Maybe it was the fact that you didn't have to walked so far and you got a close parking spot. Maybe it's the fact that you got the spot in the gym that you wanted. Maybe it's the fact that you got your whole workout done within an hour. Those little gratitudes can be so freeing. And the practice, the more and more you practice, the better off you're going to be with it. And the next one is visualization. Picture yourself succeeding, thriving, being at peace. Your brain doesn't always know the difference between imagination and reality, so visualization literally primes you for success. When I was writing my book, I visualized myself giving book talks and going on tour and things of that nature. And although it has not happened yet, I still envision it. I still continue to have those dreams and those visions of where I want to be. I want to one day be a talk show host and a celebrity nutritionist. I'm working my way there. I know I'm not there, but I see it. I'm visualizing myself doing it. And the more and more I'm visualizing myself there and in that bit, the more and more excited I get to show up and do the work that I'm doing today. So you have to take that one brave step. Action resets fear faster than anything. So take one small step in the direction of what you want. Even if it's tiny, you're proving to yourself that possibility exists. Just as I had said with my podcast right now, I'm visualizing myself as a talk show host one day, and this is what I'm doing. I'm in my office right now, one woman show, no editing equipment, no people to help me with this, and I'm just knocking it out, trying to get started in some way. This is my practice. This is for me to do maybe in 5 to 10 years. I get to be doing what I want to be doing. I mean, I am doing what I want to be doing at this point, and I do believe I'm right where I need to be. However, I still envision myself where I want to be. And this is small steps towards the goal, the biggest goal I have. Same with being a celebrity nutritionist, right? Working with one professional athlete right now has helped me inspire me and give me hope that I can help others at that high end level. And I mean, truly, I like working with anyone, but it is a dream to help people that have great influence over others because I know that I can bring that excitement into life again and that positivity and the discipline factor, right? It's really telling yourself you can do it, even if everyone around you is telling you you can't. The final point I'm going to be talking about is my own personal example, right? Real life examples, authenticity. Back when I was applying for teaching jobs, and this is a few years ago because I thought that was the next step to go into. I was in my later 20s. I'm like, oh, this would be good to start having more stability in my life. I would apply to job after job. I was not getting the jobs. I had leave replacement positions and I was doing my business part time. And I loved what I did for my business. The amount it energized me was indescribable. And to this day, it still brings me so much energy and excitement, and I love helping clients. And I would envision myself, even back to when I was writing my book, I envisioned myself of where I would be doing book talks. I envisioned myself self having clients, having a schedule where I can work out in the morning and go to work 11 a.m., even if I'm working till 9 o'clock at night, even if I'm doing 7 days a week, it was still something I was excited to do. And I'm thank God, living that right now. I had envisioned myself once a week reading at a coffee shop at, 9 a.m. when everybody's at work. And I would go and do my job after, and I would do my business until 11. And I'm living that as of right now. Although it is exhausting to run your own business and it's hard and it is lonely at times, I'm still living the life and living towards the life I want to be living. So I'm practicing it. I'm practicing what I preach. And it's taken me a while to get here. I've had to make smart moves. I've had to make sacrifices, but I don't regret them. And I understand that the goal that I have, even one day to be married and things of that nature, I have to take care of myself and be healthy in myself before I can be with somebody else. So I really want to continue to practice that and preach that and be as healthy as I can be, mentally, physically, spiritually, all the above. And I tell myself every day, like, Julia, you're getting there. You're going to have that. You're going to have everything. you want because you're working for it. And telling myself, it might sound off having this confidence. Sometimes you just fake it until you make it. That's what I'd recommend. If you are struggling to get into the headspace, just keep telling yourself over and over and over again that you're going to get there and you're going to succeed. And you will. You will get to that point. So imagine if every day you asked yourself what could go right and lived from that place. How would your health look different? How would your relationships change? What opportunities might you finally be brave enough to step into? Resetting your mindset isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about ignoring challenges. It's about reclaiming your power and giving yourself permission to imagine a better outcome. So here's your challenge for this week. Every time you catch yourself worrying about what could go wrong, pause and flip the question. Ask yourself, what could go right? Write it down. Sit with it. Choose to live from that possibility. Thank you everyone so much for hanging out with me today on Best Life by You. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend who might need this reminder too. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Until then, go out there, choose possibility, and continue to live the best life by you. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. If you would like to continue to get these episodes first thing, then go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and on Spotify under Best Life by You. If you're interested in working together, y'all can go ahead and visit bestlifebyyou.com/work with me, or go ahead and follow me on Instagram at NutriFitJulia. Send me a DM or just follow for more information, fun tips, and just a lot of humor. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's continue to live the best life by you.